Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. We're putting our metal on our back patio, and I know you probably already noticed the ribs are not lining up. I would have liked for them to, but it was going to cost me a whole nother sheet of metal to line them up, because on the house we started on that end and worked our way this way. Well, it didn't work out like that. So anyway, we've got all the insulation is cut down there. I've got 5 pieces cut. Obviously, there's 4 there, 1 up here now. We've put 2 sheets of metal on already to see how everything's going to go. So what I'm fixing to, I know, and a lot of people's like, oh, you got to run a string and you got to do all this kind of stuff. And that is a good idea. If you're not used to doing metal roofing, you need to run a string and line up on that string, okay? I've been doing it for a long time, and what I'm fixing to do is get down. I have, at this point, I put a screw in that corner, and then up there I put a screw in that corner. And then I put the next sheet of metal on, and I put 1 screw in it. And I know I'm spinning y'all around making you seasick. And then I put a screw in this second sheet of metal over in the middle over here. So I'm going to get on my ladder and take a tape measure, and I'm going to see if I'm running downhill or uphill or what. And a 1/16 of an inch there is a good bit. So, and you got to look at your boards wavy. Mine are pretty straight. I done looked down them, and I know they're pretty straight. I can tell what the metal is doing by looking at it. So if it is running downhill, I do know how to walk it, but with 2 screws, I can take these screws out and ease it, the tail end one way or the other a little bit. So that's what I'm fixing to do. I'm fixing to check everything and get it straight. I'll do all of that off camera. And once I get it running straight, then it's going to be boom, 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 boom. It won't take me long to put this insulation, this metal up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a metal up here and the insulation, tack it down tight. I didn't get this first sheet as tight as I'd like to, because the first one you can't walk up and down. It's very hard. And anyway, I just didn't. I may get it tighter before I put the screws. I'll have to see. But once I pull the metal up here, I'm going to just put a couple of screws in each sheet of metal just to hold it up here while my dad is up here helping me hand the metal up to me. And he's went home to eat right now. I didn't want to work him through lunch. So once I do that, I can come back and put all the screws in it. So I'm taking a pencil and marking every rafter. And y'all, I put the screws, when I put the next sheet of metal, let me explain this. So when the next sheet of metal, this has a little lip on it. When you lap that metal over, that screw goes right there. So it'll go like right here. A lot of people want to put them in the middle. A lot of people want to put them in the top. I have found in my experience trying to put them in that top, you never pull that tight, because the tighter you run that screw down, you dimple that, and it never squeezes that washer flat and tight on there. So it's always loose. Well, wood, metal, all of it expands and contracts with heat and cold, so it works that screw loose because it is not tight. It's just like tightening a bolt and a nut up in your vehicle. It's vibrating going up and down the road. So put them in these flats, they'll stay a lot longer. Is that foolproof? Will they never back out? Nah, it's possible that they all will back out at some point, but I promise you they'll last a lot longer this way. So we're going to get this thing roofed today, just telling you a little bit about how we're doing it. I'm ready to get this thing roofed and have one of them dig shins under it. You know what I mean? It's a shindig. Just say it backwards to be funny, okay? Hang with me. We're going to get this thing roofed. Okay. Run your tape measure in under here. I got 7 9/16 right there. Over here, I run it in. I've got 7, and I'm halfway between a 1/2 and 9/16 there. So it could possibly be running uphill a hair, which is good, because it's easier to run it back downhill than it is to try to spread metal and run it back uphill. So let me give you a tip. If you're in this situation and you're doing metal roofing, and it's running downhill, we call it. In other words, it's getting longer and longer and longer as it goes. Well, you've got to spread this out. In other words, you've got to cheat this metal this way a little bit, every sheet for about 3 sheets. And then once you put this screw, then you got to work your way and angle your screws your underway till you get this lip to fit back like it's supposed to. If it is running uphill. In other words, these measurements over here that you're working towards getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Then you put this screw right here, you pick up in the middle and put this screw, and then you work it and it closes these ribs in just a little bit. And that is called walking it in or out, you know, walking it up or downhill. So just a tip. I don't think we're going to have to do any of that. I think we're going to run it, because if it walks just a little bit, I'm probably not going to fight it, because this is not perfect anyway out here. So no more than it's moving. I think I'm in good shape. One reason I knew I was pretty well all right is I butted it up there till it hit square on that eave strut and inched it back just a smidgen. And I have got, like I said, 7.5 inches of overhang here. A lot of people say, oh, you don't need to go over 3 inches, 4 inches max. I've got a foot on the front of my house. But my reason back here is I wanted to protect the ends of these. None of this is treated. So I wanted to keep the water as far back away from it as I could safely. But we are on the weather side of my house back here. That'd be the north side. Most of our storms and stuff come kind of wind out of the northeast, or at least, out of the northwest or west. So, you know, this north side catches more weather and mold and stuff like that. Less sunshine during the winter, you know, all that such as that. So we'll have to keep an eye on things, but I wanted to keep the moisture as far away from it as I could. So anyway, y'all, that's what it's going to look like under here. Let me take y'all under and look. So that's what the ceiling will look like. And I need to get some of these wrinkles right up in there out. When something's flat and you walk on it ain't too bad. But now when they call you the 12 fish and sliding all over it, wind howling, fish is biting, that's usually the biggest problem. Oh, hang on, whoa, whoa, whoa. Good? Yep. Of course, that measurement now down there, so I can screw this side. It seems to be running uphill pretty hard now, fella. Okay. What you got there on it now?
About 7 and a quarter, 8, 16.
You 6 and 5/16.
Huh?
6 and 5/16. You 6 and 3/4 there. This doesn't come up hills over 3/4 of an inch.
Oh, that's 7 inches.
That's 7 inches, but over here ain't. See, there's 7.
Yeah. That's what I said, it's running uphill.
Them boards could be a little wavy too.
I'm gonna have to move my tape over the ladder.
What you take measure. be all right. We ain't using the tape on it no way. I can put a piece under there. I need to get over yonder and do that corner though. Just hold on. All right. That's all the way it's sticking over. It's up. Look. I didn't know if we was hitting that up there. Hold on a second. Let me mark these. Well, y'all, I am pretty much done with it. I have got to go down and get a few more screws to finish out another line, but it is pretty well done. Booyah! And y'all, it ain't but like 2:30, so it didn't take me that long. My dad come help me get it up here. He went home and I finished pretty much screwing it down. So like I said, I've got to finish one run of screws out right here. I run out of screws and I've got some more down there stashed away in the shed. So let's get down and talk about it. Get off this roof a minute. I'm gonna sit in a chair and drink some sweet tea. Well, y'all, it feels good to sit down right here under a roof porch, looking at my firewood that is in the dry now. No more worries about coming out that back door and rain running down the back collar of my neck while I'm trying to tote firewood in the house. So, this is a load off my mind. I can relax now. I can go do some things and film some things we enjoy now. I am glad to get this done. I have still got some work to do out here. We'll continue to be working on this some on and off, but not rushing and pressing to do it. I want to do some more graveling. You see, I put a little gravel at the door right there. I want to gravel on over here in front of my fire pit, and then I'm going to gravel all the way around the thing under the porch. I may pour a slab in here eventually. Most likely right now, I'm going to come out here and throw a table and set my grill, and we just going to work on this grass for right now. I'm going to have a fire pit right here. And I'm probably going to put the tripod over it where I can just cast iron cook over like you'd be over a campfire. And then we're going to evolve into, I'm going to build a chimney. I don't know exactly how all I'm going to work it, if I'm going to run the brick and stone up through the metal or if I go to a pipe before I get there. I'm not sure yet, but it will be a fireplace down here with a crane in it that we can cook and all. That's just kind of what I want, but that's long term. I'm glad to have this knocked out. This project has been looming over my head for a while. So just the insulation and the metal and the screws was about $900. The insulation was the thing that has drastically went up since I was doing this. Just the metal was about $500 and something, $550 something. And it's fixing to go back up. Prices fluctuate, but everything is going up. So there's $1,000 in the roof itself. That ain't counting, well, the roof and those screws that I put in there. And that's what I have spent. I've spent about $1,000 right here. So there's no great fortune in what I have just done, but only because I did all the work. You know what I mean? If you had to pay somebody to cut poles and peel them and construct it, you'd have $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in it. If I had to cut my trees and peel them and build you a porch, it'd cost you. It'd cost you. Because there's a lot of work peeling all this stuff. But anyway, we are getting it set up. I've got some stuff under my carport that's going to come around here. Probably under that air conditioner right there. I'm going to put my refrigerator that is currently under the carport around there. That way I can keep stuff in that refrigerator right here while I'm cooking. The griddle's coming back here. The smoker is coming back here. And I may move that stuff around here this evening. I may move it tomorrow. I don't know when. I really need to go probably work on some pottery and do some other stuff. But in the coming days before this rain sets in, we're going to move some stuff around. I have a table that I'm going to bring out here, so I can pull that stuff out here and gravel around it, I think. And I just want to do that so that where this dirt and stuff is, I ain't tracking mud in and out. But anyway, we pretty much done. I'm going to back up and get a few more extra shots of it. Finished product. I still got some cleaning up to do right here. But anyway, thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors, putting this roof on. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one. Roscoe, ball. Ball. Bring me the ball. Come here with it. Come here with the ball. Give me that.